I hold up the plane for 45 minutes. We're scared. We're all terrified. We don't know what's going on. We're in the dark. He's not explaining what a battle buddy is. He just keeps saying battle buddy.
To the last bullet, to the last breath, we fight. Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome back to another episode of Called to Serve podcast. I'm here with one of my day ones, Quinton Rainey. My man, oh man, we go way back. My boy went through the police academy with me, but during that time, he just built a massive social media following over the years. Has been putting in that work. I ain't trying to steal his thunder, so bro. Welcome.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? It's so good to have you.
My guy.
We got some stuff we got to talk about.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about it, bro. We can talk about it.
Bro, I remember being young recruits in the academy, and I'm not going to say where.
I'll say it, DeKalb County.
Okay.
I'll say it.
DeKalb County PD Academy, man. And actually, I think you came up with our motto, our chant.
Yeah. To
the last bullet, to the last breath, we fight.
Mm-hmm. I actually came from Red Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stole it from Red Tails.
Yeah. But when they were throwing things out there and said, hey, y'all need to come up with a class motto,
yeah,
yours was the one that stuck.
Yeah, because everybody else was trash.
I still think mine was pretty cool, bro.
What was yours, Hub? Let's talk about that. What was yours,
Hub? It was Axios.
I don't even know what that means.
It means to be worthy or deserving of victory.
Brother, half our class didn't know what that meant. So we were failing. Okay, we were failing already.
It's all good. Well, the better motto won.
Absolutely.
All right, so, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
I think most of us agree. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, man. So let's chop it up, man. Mm-hmm. What you been up to, bro?
Man, nothing. Just chilling, man. Really just working on, my platforms. TikTok, YouTube. Trying to start a clothing line, get merch out there and everything, and just being a father, man. Just enjoying that experience, watching him grow up. And seeing so many things similar to how I grew up, it's just a blessing. But, that's all I've been doing, man. Just chilling.
Yeah. All right, man. So just kind of give us your background. I know a funny story that we did, that we had, the whole Kent State thing, bro. Tell us about that. All
right. So a lot of people don't know this, but when I got recruited by Kent State, they came my junior year. And I was just like, okay, Kent State. I'm thinking Kentucky State. That's what everybody's thinking. That's even what my coach is thinking. We're all thinking that Kentucky State. And he's like, hey, man, you got a video game? I'm like, yeah, I got a video game. He's like, man, go check us out on the video game. I didn't. I'm like, I ain't about to waste my time. Okay, I'm gonna get other offers. Okay, you're not the only offer I'm gonna get. And what ended up happening is they ended up staying with me my junior year and my senior year. Even when I went to another high school, they stayed. A lot of colleges backed off because they looked at it as not being loyal, staying with your first high school and everything like that. So I end up committing. I end up going on my official visit after our regional final game. Mm-hmm. So it's a Saturday morning. I'm asleep. All right, it's like 6 something in the morning. The game just ended at 11. Like, I'm asleep. So I don't know where I'm at. I just know it's cold. It's Thanksgiving time. So I'm not thinking we are in Ohio. I'm in Kentucky. Like, that makes sense. So we get back home and I'm like, Mom, I committed. And she's like, oh, all right, okay, cool. Like, are we gonna do anything else? I said, no, I'm gonna just do that. So I graduate in August. I'll never forget it. It was August 2nd. I'm boarding a plane. I'm getting on this plane, right? And the stewardess usually says, or the pilot says the destination. Like, hey, Norfolk, Virginia to Cleveland, Ohio. I said, wait a minute. I said, I don't even know where Ohio is on a map. Like, you need to stop this. So I hold up the plane for 45 minutes. My mom is sitting at the window wondering why the plane hasn't taken off. And I am almost in tears. Like, I am almost in tears because I'm going to Ohio. And I'm thinking supposed to be going to Kentucky. Oh man, the lady had to pull out her phone and show me Kent State, like Kent, Ohio. I cried. I cried the whole way. I cried the whole flight. The lady had to comfort me. Like, it wasn't even that many people on the flight. And she had to like sit beside me and comfort me the whole entire flight. And then when we landed in Cleveland, Ohio, I was just like, I'm here. So stuck like Chuck. Ain't no going home.
Bruh.
So, hey, bruh. That's what it was, man.
Hey, my man thought he was going to Kentucky State.
I thought it, and I was hell bent on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's where I'm going, man. When they told me Ohio, bro, I couldn't even. Where is that on the map? Like, show me where that is.
That's crazy, bro.
Bruh.
That is crazy.
I tell that story all the time, bro.
Oh man, I remember when I first heard it, bro. Like, I thought it was hilarious. I just like, man, we definitely got to talk about that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, you know what I mean? Obviously, we're on Call to Serve podcast, right?
Right.
And you have a background in service.
Right.
And it was this experience, right?
Right.
That kind of happened and led to you serving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So talk to us about that whole college experience and then how you transitioned into actually when we went to the academy.
So I played college football, and I played that for, well, it was actually 5 years, but I was redshirted 1 year, and then I played 4 years. So I enjoyed that experience, but I ended up getting a degree in justice studies, criminal justice, as a lot of people call it. And I didn't know what I was going to do. At first, I was like, man, I'm going to be a lawyer. Then somebody told me I had to go back to school, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I graduate. I end up coming back home. And when I came back home, my mom was like, what are you going to do? Like, what's going to happen? So I ended up like working in a hospital for like 3 years, not knowing what I'm doing. Like, man, I was just here. So one day my mom, a guy named JD, introduced me to a guy named JD. He was a police officer in Norfolk. Shout out to JD. But
shout out to JD.
He talked to me. He became a mentor and everything. And I'm like, man, I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And at this time, my son, my child's mother is pregnant, and she has my son December 6th, excuse me. But she has my son, and she don't want to be in Virginia. She want to be closer to family because her family moved. So I'm just like, hey man, I can't miss my son's life, so I came on down to Georgia, where we're currently located. Came on down to Georgia and started the process for DeKalb, and that was a wild ride there, boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They dig into everything.
Everything, dog. Everything. Even arguments that I had, things like that. It's weird, because domestic violence is looked at different ways through different point of views. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think an argument was domestic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And you had to put all that stuff down on the background. So.
Bro, even like now, man, it's so interesting seeing you, man. You got the locks, everything, man. I remember, egghead recruit. We always had short hair.
What? All bald headed.
All bald headed.
Except Heather. Both Heathers.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Except both Heathers. Man. And Verillion and Brown and Brown had short hair.
So
yeah.
That's crazy, man. It's just just seeing you with the locks, bro. It's just like, oh man, I remember.
Yeah,
none of us had hair.
Man, but bald as can be, bruh. Bald as can be. That first day,
yeah.
That day we were sitting in that room, he was like, "Man, you got to be bald headed."
Yeah,
just a whole bunch of milk duds.
Yeah,
just sitting in there, suit, shirt and tie.
Yeah,
shoot,
man, bro, taking me back.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like during the academy? We had a bunch of things that was going on. It's just different in there.
My first experience, and Hub can tell y'all about this too. So our first day, well, the day before, or what was it? That Friday, I believe it was the Friday. Our instructor Lochner, says, "Do not be late. Do not be late. We got to be there at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
In formation. Do not be late."
Yes.
Somebody was late.
Wonder who that was.
Yeah, Cortland was late, and we're in formation. So when we're in formation, instructor, the runner,
the Cotton? No,
he was this tall, skinny guy.
Yeah,
I forgot the name, but he at 4 o'clock, he's coming down the hill. We're scared. We're all terrified. We don't know what's going on. We're in the dark. I don't know what's about to happen. I'm about to lose my mind in this dark. And he comes down, he takes roll, and he's like, "Y'all are missing one." And we're like, "Who we missing? Who we missing?" They were like, "You better call him." And he runs back up the hill. I said, "Lord,
oh man,
we ain't gonna make it." Not as a group, we ain't gonna make it. So Cortland ends up showing up like 20 minutes later. And they pile us in a van. We get in the van. And they take this wild route to the gun range. And they smoke us on the gun range.
Yeah, I remember that.
They lit paper. So they burnt paper. And it looked like it was snowing. And I'm like, bro, when did Georgia start snowing? This lets you know my mind is gone. I'm mentally gone already. But I know I got to make it. You know, I have no other option. I got to make it. Shout out to my boy Kraft.
Kraft.
They made Kraft become an airplane and run around and go boo like he was an airplane because he wore his class ring from Redan. They made him run around like an airplane. Then we had a guy from Verizon, and it was like run to the wood and touch the wood and come back. He was like, "Can you hear me now?" And he ran again. He was like, "Can you hear me now?" These instructors, let me tell y'all something. The instructors love y'all and they want to see y'all succeed, but they gonna make your life hell in these smoke sessions. So, after that, we went on to the other side and we had to run the hill. Now, while running the hill, my pants were falling, and it was like, "Take your belt off and run down the hill." Hub, let me tell you something, Hub. I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit that day. I was gonna quit that day. That embarrassment right there. I was like, bro, she can have this. Shriner. I think it was Shriner. I don't know what her name is, but she's a little angry lady. She's like the Trunchbull from Matilda. She's just small.
Trunchbull.
Oh my gosh, man. She was just so angry. And if it wasn't for me turning around and seeing y'all up there standing in formation, I was like, bro, I gotta go make it. I get back to the hill, the top, and it was a struggle because my pants were big and they were falling. And she said, "This is how a perp gonna get away from you." I was like, "Oh my gosh, bro, watch a perp run." And when I got back up there, got back in formation and everything, I was like, bro, I'm gonna make it. So
yeah, bro, it always starts the perp magic. You already know what's about to happen.
Right. When you get to looking around, oh man, it's over with. You better be prepared to run.
You better be prepared, bro. Bro, that's crazy. All right, so that's funny, man. But I remember, dog, we almost got in the fight, or it was getting heated. I thought it was funny. You was pissed.
Oh man.
Tell us about that.
So let me tell y'all about Hub, man. So Hub will use military terms that I did not know. Battle buddy. I don't know what that means, right? I don't know what that means. So we're doing a building clearing drill or something of that nature. That's what we're doing. So we're across from the courthouse. So if we went to the bathroom, we had to be in twos. Like you could never be alone because you never know if a criminal or a suspect or whatever was going to jump us or whatever. So, people are leaving, going to the bathroom. Hub is like, yo, Rainey, you want to be my battle buddy? I said, what? He's like, man, do you want to be my battle buddy? Like, my battle buddy. And let me tell y'all something. He's not explaining what a battle buddy is. He just keeps saying battle buddy. And I'm like, bro, like, no, I don't want to be your damn like, I'm going through it, right? Like, me and my child's mother are going through it. Life is happening. And he's pissing me off. Like, he just keeps saying battle buddy. And eventually I just snapped. Like, man, F a battle buddy. Like, and they had to hold me back. They had to hold him back. And he's smiling. He's laughing. And I'm like, nah, bro, it ain't funny. It ain't funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't funny. Like, stop trying to play me. But, eventually me and him came together. I think it was like at the end of the day, he came to me and was like, hey, bro, like, the battle buddy is just a person you go with to the bathroom. Like, it was nothing. But I was like, man, hey, man, look.
It's a partnership system. It's accountability system.
I ain't got that. What I mean? I wasn't with that day.
But, so I thought it was hilarious because, one, I just think that you're generally a funny person.
Right.
So, I mean, I just remember countless times you just made the whole class laugh. I mean, you were funny to laugh with. You were funny to laugh at, depending on what was going on.
Right.
So I mean, you need entertainment. You got it because it's like hell on earth. That academy was like hell on earth.
It was.
And you had to find some type of escape. So the times when you can laugh, you can laugh. The times when you feel like you need to cry, you can cry. I mean, it all happened. You know what I mean? So for me, that was that. And then we did have a decent amount of ex-military in our class, which I really think was to our benefit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
It was to our benefit as far as we progress, moving things along, being structured, kind of helping other people out.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially a paramilitary organization. And
Absolutely.
it was ran like how a military unit would be ran.
Right.
So yeah, bro, thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome, brother.
That was funny. You my dude, bro.
Nah, always, brother.
I mean, man, just even outside of that, man, we used to hang and stuff like that. And I know you went through some stuff with your son's mother.
Yeah.
I even remember coming through to your mom's house a couple of times, man. Mm-hmm. So you were definitely one of my favorite people in the academy for sure.
Yeah.
And just brother. So after academy, talk to us about your experience as a DeKalb officer.
My first off, getting out of the academy was just a blessing. Like us all making it, like we were like 20, it was like 27 of us, maybe 25, somewhere around there.
It didn't start with that much.
No, it started with like 30. And
it was we lost a few.
We lost a few, and then but to graduate with the people we did, it felt really good. It felt really great. So when I started policing, I was terrible. I couldn't get the 10 codes right. I was talking regular on the radio, like, yo,
plain talk.
Yeah, yo, like, he running, like, he out here, and but eventually I got it. And then once you're on the road by yourself, it's weird. It's like you're alone, but you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of drive around, you're doing your own thing until you get that call. And a lot of my calls at first were kind of BS calls, like alarms and stuff like that. You go check the building, this, that, and the third. But it wasn't until I experienced my first ever shooting, that really changed me a lot, and I think this kind of changed me in a bad way a little bit because I wasn't myself anymore. And want me to talk about that?
Yeah, bro.
So one night on Morning Watch, was you on Morning Watch with me in this?
Yeah, I was on Morning Watch.
Yeah. So I pull a car over. Got 4 gentlemen in the car. young adults. I think the ages range from like 19 to 20 or something like that. And I pull them over because they ran a stop sign. And the driver's like, I'm like, hey man, what's going on? He says, no man, we're just trying to find something to do. My boy just got out of juvenile, just that and the third. So I look in the back seat, I see the red flag. I don't judge people. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason you joined the gang or whatever, that's your reason. You know what I'm saying? I never look down on anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? Because your reasonings are different from what I got going on in my life. You know, why you chose to do that and this, that, and the third. So I said, man, look, it's 11:30. Go home. Nothing good happens after 12. They're like, all right, man, we're going to go home. They lied to me. They lied. But around maybe 1:32, call comes out, person shot. And I'm in the 20s. Like the call was in actually the 60s.
Oh. So
I'm not supposed to go over there.
Yeah.
Sergeant Porter, shout out to Sergeant Porter.
Sergeant Porter
says 421 morning will handle it. And I'm like, dog.
Dang, bro.
I gotta get over it. I'm blue lights and sirens, I'm hauling.
Well, I was in the 30s, so.
Yeah. So we was right next to each other. So I get there and I see the Lithonia officer there. I'm like, well, the Lithonia officer's gonna handle it. Like, he's here. And they're like, nah, you handle it. I'm like, all right, man. So I walk over to the Lithonia officer and I see the kid, the kid in the back seat with the flag. He's gripping $2 tight. But he's gone. I can tell he's gone.
Yeah.
And to see that after I just spoke to him 2 hours ago, it messed me up. It messed me up bad. And then, I handle the case and everything. I tell everybody in the party to sit down on the concrete and everything. It was crazy. And come to find out he died over $2. And it messed with me for a long time. And I never talked about it until I went to therapy and everything like that. But I didn't talk about it. And I should have, because, it took a toll on my job. You know what I'm saying? I smiled through a lot of stuff, but that really messed with me. I can still see him. You know what I'm saying? I can see him. I used to see him in my dreams and stuff like that. And after that, man, I ain't gonna say my job just took a nosedive, but things wasn't getting better. You know what I'm saying? So, but people don't realize what police go through on a daily basis. Like, I got to go and handle this person's problems over here, and then your problems, and then their problems, and then I got to go home and handle my problems. So I commend all police officers, that's out there doing the job and having to go home and deal with their families. I commend them for it. So,
yeah, that's real. And on top of that, especially like in a place like DeKalb,
yeah,
you in the thick of it. You in the sauce. They say 2 years at DeKalb is equivalent to like 10, 20 years in most departments nationwide.
Really?
That's why the CALIA certification that they have is nationally recognized, because you got to think about it. You got to go through the state requirements. So the basic state requirements.
And then you got to go through
you got to go through DeKalb's own academy to become a DeKalb officer.
Right.
It was nuts, man.
It was. It was.
But then also, you have to make a decision every single day that today might be the last day that you see your family. Yeah. That you walking out of your door, but you may not come back. Mm-hmm. And it's, in a situation or in a department like that, I mean, it's more probable that you will get into an officer-involved shooting or, running on domestics or a pursuit, a high-speed pursuit. That's how, shoot, man. We was jumping out on cars, like.
Jumping out on everybody.
Dude, my first week on FTO, I worked 5 homicides.
Yeah.
And one triple homicide. I'm talking about brand new out the academy, first week in FTO.
Mm-hmm. It was like that, man. And I think, like I said, a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't understand, like, what you go through. I can go from checking an alarm to a person shot to a shoplifter, to a domestic. I can go back to back to back to domestic violence.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I can get calls from the same house 3 times about domestic violence, and then I'm being held accountable because I'm like, well, why didn't you do anything? And I'm like, bro, like, what am I supposed to do when she don't want to, you know, have him go to jail, or she tells him to leave before we get there? You know, it's a lot of crazy stuff that people really don't understand what police officers go through. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is, though.
It is what it is, man. Man, so DeKalb, you did 4 years with DeKalb?
Did 4.
Okay. So talk to us about that and what kind of led to the transition out of law enforcement.
Man, let me tell you something. It's probably small to a lot of people, but understand I was going through something during that time when I transitioned out. So, you know, Hub was there. You know, Hub was there when I moved out and helped me move. And yeah, you actually paid for the U-Haul and everything because I didn't have any money. Yeah, I remember. I gotta get you that bread back.
Nah, bro.
I got you.
Absolutely not.
I got you. Somewhere down the line. I ain't gonna say it today, but somewhere down the line, I got you. But you know, I'm struggling with, you know, a breakup. You know, it's been a part of my life for 5 years. You know, nobody wants to be in a so-called baby daddy, baby mama type of situation where y'all are split up, y'all not a family. And you know, I was dealing with that, and then we had a sergeant at the time, 2 sergeants. One passed away. Sergeant
White.
Sergeant White. Yeah, so he passed away. But you know, I'm dealing with them being on my case about anything and everything. Like they're combing my reports with a fine tooth comb. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and they're on me. So one night, I'm trying to get to the to the precinct, and this dude come up beside me and said, "This lady trying to kill people." I'm like, "What you mean she's trying to kill people? Like, she's driving all over the road." That I was gonna leave it. I was gonna just, man, let me go ahead and just drift off, take this exit, and then go on to the precinct. But actually, I ended up pulling the lady over, and she was a sweet lady. She had just taken her medication and everything like that. And literally, Sergeant Williams wanted me to arrest her for DUI. And I'm just like, can we just take her home? You know, like, why do everybody, I feel like everybody don't got to go to jail. You know, and she didn't need to go to jail. You know, like, so I ended up taking her to jail, and her little purse, whatever, it's about the size of like a hand pocketbook or whatever, fell into my bag, you know, and, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. Took her to jail, did my paperwork, I left. So that, I had the weekend off. So when I came back that Tuesday, they're blowing my phone up like, where's this lady's purse at? I'm like, I don't know. I ain't got no purse. I go and check my bag. I got the purse. Oh. So now I'm terrified. Now I'm like, man, I'm going to get fired. Like, they're going to fire me. And I ended up trying to take the purse back to her house before I went to work. But she was at the precinct when I went to return her purse. So I get to the precinct and I call her like, hey, look, I got your purse. You know, meet me in the back lot. Well, what happened was Sergeant White went to the back lot before her. And when she came, we talked. I gave her purse back, this, that, and the third. So when Sergeant Williams asked me, did I handle it? I said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Told her where it was. Got it. Gave it to her. Well, Sergeant White comes in and he's like, well, did Rainey tell y'all everything? Like, he gave it. And what that did was it made it seem like I was lying to Sergeant Williams. So Sergeant Williams wrote the report. Once the report got, you know, written and everything, I'm thinking everything's fine. I'm thinking we'll get a day in the street, a couple days in the street or whatever. Well, they shot it up to the top. I begged for my job because, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And they fired me. They let me go. Let your boy go. And I didn't know what to do, man. You know, I didn't know what to do. So
one thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually never knew the story.
Yeah, like
I didn't knew the story.
And I didn't know how to tell it. I didn't know what to say to people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you got fired over a purse? Because that's how police officers look at it, like what? Like, yeah, that's what you got fired over? Like, they still talk about it to this day.
Yeah.
Like, think about, like, they still talk about it to this day, and I ain't been a cop since 2017, and they still talk about it to this day. So with that being said, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? After that, like, what do I do? I went home and I had to tell my child's mother that I got fired, that I'm done. We're broken up. She don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's doing good things in her job. She's moving up. So I'm alone.
Yep.
I'm alone. And who do you talk to? You know what I'm saying? Who do you go to? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have anybody to go to. Well, I felt like I didn't have anybody to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So I guess that kind of answers my question of what were your initial thoughts once you found out that they were letting you go, where your mind went. What was like the first thing that you thought about?
My son. How am I going to feed him? How am I going to put clothes on his back? Where are we going to live? And when those things run through your mind, you don't realize that only a few minutes have passed. But it feels like a day has passed, but only a few minutes have passed. And I'm trying to figure out everything. My mom's like, "Oh, you should come back to back home to Virginia." I'm like, "No, like my son's 3. No, I'm not leaving him." And I know some people look at that as commendable and everything like that, but I didn't have an option. Like, what I'm saying? I didn't know what to do. So when that initially happened and they let me go, I was gonna fight it. I was gonna fight it and call it BS or whatever. But I said I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Right? For some reason, something just told me to let it go. And shout out to Sergeant Porter again. He called me. I think it was 3 days later. He called me and he was like, "Look, I don't know what you're gonna do, but here's a few options." And he actually got me told me about a job at Chenega at the CDC, and I applied and I got on with them. So
doing what?
Doing security.
Okay.
Doing it was depressing. It was depressing. It was like they give you a gun and then at the end of the shift they take the gun away. You have an empty, empty gun host. It was depressing.
Ooh.
Bad. But it was paying the bills.
Yeah.
It was paying the bills. I was able to take care of me and my son. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I cared about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll pick ice cubes out of a freezer if it paid the bills. So
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that, man. That's commendable, bro.
Yeah, man.
I mean, yeah, dude, I remember your little man was like a little snot nose in his diapers.
Right.
I was like, man, that boy gonna play some type of ball.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah. He ended up I ended up coaching him, his first actually every year. Every year he's played football, I've coached him. I kind of had that prime effect, coaching my child all the way up, from 6 years old to now. I think when he gets to high school, I'm gonna let somebody else take the reins because unless I coach high school, you know what I'm saying. But he has to have different coaches coach him up, you know what I'm saying, so he can get a different experience.
100%.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that, man. Like, I just I appreciate the rawness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This platform was created so that people can be their authentic selves,
right,
and tell their story from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you sharing that aspect. I know, it always can't be easy to talk about. And as time goes by, things become easier to talk about.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So let's move on to like a brighter subject, man. So right now you doing your thing on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My man's got 300,000 plus followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what you're doing on TikTok. What kind of got you into that social media influencer type?
Oh man.
Gig? How'd you get started?
Okay, so it all started. So it started way back. It actually was way like 2000. 13. It was like back then. And I was gonna try to do YouTube. But when people and this is why you always gotta have a good circle around you. People were doubting it. Video games will get you nowhere. You know, this will get you nowhere. Do you get paid for this? And when you're always worried about the money, then you'll never be happy at what you do. You'll never be happy. So a lot of people shot those dreams down for me early on. And I'm just like, you know what? Okay. You know, all right, I'm going to give it a break. And once I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. And I had my son the majority of the time. So we just trying to make it. And one day he was in school. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to try to do a video game walkthrough. It was terrible. I had a busted laptop trying to upload this content. And, you know, I'm just doing something. You know, didn't know really what I was doing. I was just doing it. And, you know, fast forward a couple years. One day I'm sitting at the guard shack at the CDC. And somebody's like, hey, man, you should check out this app. First it was Musically. Like musical something.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. I check it out. And I checked it out. I'm like, man, everybody's dancing. Like, what am I supposed to do? Dance in my security uniform? Am I supposed to dance? You know, like, and what ends up happening is it kind of transitions. When I download it, it then transitions to, you know, people talking, people, you know, doing videos other than dancing videos. I'm like, man, this is all right. This past the time. You know, I'm going to scroll up. So one day, I just decided to post something like relationship advice. I was terrible at relationships at the time. Terrible. and I'm out here giving advice. So first couple of videos, they're terrible. I'm just talking. And one day, something came across my screen. It was like a 5-star linebacker. And I'm looking at the film, and I'm like, this guy is terrible. He ain't no damn 5-star.
Got to go.
He need to take them stars away.
Somebody got to go.
But what I did was I took the video. I reacted to the video. And I'm like, hey, look, this is what he's doing wrong. He's doing this wrong. He's doing that wrong. Rivals need to do a better job of showing better clips. I didn't think nothing of it. I posted it, man. My shift went on. I ended up going home, falling asleep. I wake up. My phone is blowing up with notifications. The video went viral. I said, nah, this ain't real. This ain't. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. So the next night, I do it again with a lineman or something like that, and it blows up again. I'm like, man, I might have found the secret sauce. Like, I got the Krabby Patty formula out of this junk, right?
Bro. The Krabby Patty formula.
Right.
This dude.
You know what I'm saying? I'm plankton. I done stole something. I done stole it. So, I do it like maybe 3 or 4 times, and they all blow up. Like, they all are doing numbers. And it was so crazy that Rivals blocked me. This big company blocked me. Their social media page blocked me because they felt that I was disrespecting their athletes, and I wasn't. I was just telling them, like, look, this is where you're showing bad clips. You know, you'll show a good clip and then a bad clip and then a bad clip and then a good clip. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't matter how physical this player is. His technique is trash. And y'all are pushing this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are pushing this. So a lot of people felt that I was their voice, because a lot of people don't do social media. They may do like the Facebooks and, you know, the Instagrams, but they don't post nothing. They don't talk about anything. They just kind of keep in contact with family and friends. So when I did that, man, and I got blocked and everything, and I just continued to do it. And then one day, man, I said, you know what? I'm going to do my own film breakdowns. And let me tell y'all something. My Instagram blows up. I said, hey, man, DM me your videos and your links and all that. I mean, it coming in by the hundreds. And I don't know how to, I'm trying to do like 7-8 videos a day. And if you don't know, back then, I had to screen record I had to screen record their highlight tape, then do my reaction to it like at the same time. So, I'm at work doing 7-8 videos in 8 hours of work, and that's a lot, and I just continued to grow. And, I started to say, you know what, I'm gonna do these film breakdowns, but I'm also gonna be myself. Like I'm gonna do what I do, and I started talking about different sports topics and everything. And the next thing you know, man.
Yeah, man.
Shot through the roof.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching you for a minute. I was like, look at this dude right here, man. Oh, man. Hey, man, let us get your favorite. Let us get your tagline, man.
Oh, what, my
yeah, how you start every video. I was like, man, that's so clever. let us get it, man.
I say, man, look, I don't know where to start, but let's talk about it. And we get into it, man. We get into it.
Oh, man, my man's like, man, look, I don't know where to start, but let's talk about it. I was like, and then I went to another video. Man, look, I don't know where to start, but let's talk about it. I was like, man, that is genius.
Yeah.
That's great branding, man.
And it actually came out of, and I wish I could find the guy, but it wasn't a social media guy. It wasn't somebody's platform. It was literally a guy I saw at the barbershop. And he said, what did he say? He said, man, look. He said, man, look, let's talk about it. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And then I was like, I'm gonna put this at the beginning of every video because you can never say it wasn't my video. I didn't start it,
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people will steal your content and post it on their page, and let's just say it blows up on their page. Like it doesn't blow up on your page.
Right.
They're getting paid for your content.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I started to do was throw that tagline in there and to let people know, like, this is mine. This is my content,
Yes.
And there's no way you can really edit it out.
Yeah, it's your voice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
that's great, man.
Right.
It's branding.
Right.
Trademarking, whatever, however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very strong and strategic move on your end.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Heck
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, bro. So blew up on social media, right? So there any regrets? Because obviously, one thing led to another. What if that situation with the purse never happened?
Right. I don't have any regrets. Maybe if I have, the only regret I probably have is something involving football. Like personally, like, hey man, maybe I would have worked a little bit harder, but everything happens for a reason, and without that situation happening in the police with the police and the purse, I would have never went through a tough time, what I'm saying, and try to figure out who I am and who I was. A lot of times people do what other people feel. I feel like that's not going to work, so it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like they push their fears onto you, and I think a lot of people go through that. But when you're different, you don't allow that to happen. And once I found my knack or my niche or whatever, I just continued to perfect it, make it better, talk about things that people want to hear about. I know we have like the Stephen A's, the Shannon Sharps, and sometimes they're giving their answers, but you kind of feel like they're kind of fed the answer.
Yeah, they're curated.
Right. And you're gonna get the raw from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he's trash, he's trash. Plain and simple. If he's good, he's good. If he had a bad game, I'm gonna let you know. I don't try to put people down. I may make a joke here and there, to get people laughing, but at the same time, I always build people up because there was a time you built me up. You know what I'm saying? There's a time my mom built me up. My father, my pops, everybody, like somebody somewhere down the line built me up. So why can't I do the same for somebody else or a kid that feels like he's not getting the proper respect or the proper acknowledgement, or the looks or whatever. So, yeah, man, that's why I do it.
Yeah, man, I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's so important if you're in a position to to build other people up. Because you'll never know when you need that support.
Right.
You know, and this goes back to, excuse me. I talk about this a lot because it means so much to me. And I'll talk to this about anyone, about relationships and how I truly believe it's the highest currency, the highest form of currency, you know? And it's like, yo, me and you, we may have not even spoken for a minute, a hot minute, but because of our relationship, we just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
And it's just seamless like that.
Yeah.
And I think if people paid more attention and they were more intentional about building relationships and how people experience them, their life would be a lot better.
Absolutely.
You know, their sphere of influence would be a lot greater. You know, and then one of my favorite sayings is, people may not remember what I do or what I say, but they'll always remember how I made them feel and how they experienced me.
Yeah.
And I'm just a huge proponent for providing the best experience possible because I want people to feel like when I'm talking to them that they're the most important person in the world at that moment.
Yeah.
Because most of the times they are. Right. You know, and that's just me. Right. If I got it, I got it. Like, if I got it, you got it. You know, like back in the day, man. Like, hey, man, you know, you was going through some stuff.
Boy, let me tell you something.
If I got it, you got it, bro.
Save me with that U-Haul, boy, because my car definitely declined. When we was at that cash register, it definitely declined, man. And Hub definitely look out for me. But I got to give Hub his flowers, man, because every time I was going through a tough time, Hub was there. You know, every time I was going through a breakup, and it's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know why, but, you know, when I was going through what I'm going through now, Hub pops up. Like, hey, man, I'm just checking on you. And literally, y'all, like, literally, I just sat in my car and I cried because it's like, me and Hub, we hadn't probably had a real conversation, spoken like, what, 2 years, 3 years, something like that?
Something like that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I don't love him like my brother or anything like that. It's just like your lives are just going in opposite directions. And, you know, it's just, you're not there. Like, when you don't see that person, when you don't hear from that person, you're not there at that moment. But when I was going through what I was going through, it's like Hub popped right back up. And Hub was like, man, I was just thinking about you. Are you okay? Like, and I just sat in the Kroger parking lot. I never forgot. I sat in the Kroger parking lot and I just cried because, you know, sometimes you feel alone. Sometimes, like, you feel like, yo, who am I going to talk to? You know, like, I still talk to Kraft. I still talk to East, you know, and, you know, it's like, well, who do I call? And who's going to reach out? But nobody knows the problem. Like, nobody knows the issue. Everybody living their lives. So when you reached out to me, man, I really truly appreciate it, man. I really did, because I really needed it. You know, I really needed it. So.
Yeah, man. I just think sometimes this is a God thing, bro.
Yeah.
You know, God just puts people in my heart. If I haven't talked to them for a minute, like, hey, yeah, you reach out to this person.
Yeah.
See how he's doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
See how she's doing. You know, it's just like, it's a thing I can't really explain.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm happy to do it. You know, it's just like some people are just meant to be in your life all the time.
Right.
Some people are just meant to be seasonal. Some people are just, you know, we grew up, bro. We live our own lives. Like, you don't got to be in somebody's face every day.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even realistic.
Right.
Got your own stuff going on, but hey, you follow up every now and then. It be like that sometimes, man.
Right.
But that's why I say it's so important with building relationships and to the level that you build these relationships, because yeah, you might not talk in 3 years, but boom. If I call, someone answers. If you call, I answer.
Right.
And then when we do make that connection again, it's like
we never left.
Like we never left.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. So I think that's real dope, man. Appreciate that appreciate you for sharing that. Yeah. It really is just a confirmation of what I believe that I was put on this earth to do, and that's to be a change agent, but a fisher of men.
Right.
Right. And just someone that takes care of his people. Because God has blessed me and continues to bless me to be able to do things like that. And now he's blessing you, and he's giving you a platform, sphere of influence to where you can serve people, whether it's, even if it's just, it's something as simple as taking their mind off of the oppressions of life.
Right.
Or the everyday pressures of life.
Yeah.
Giving them that temporary relief.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do, man. I try to put a smile on everybody's face.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't receive it well. Sometimes people don't
be like that, bro.
Right. They don't receive it well. But, I do what I do, man, because if I can make one person's day happy, I feel accomplished. If I can make you laugh, get your mind off of whatever world problems you have, or, whatever it is, I'm willing to do that. I've gotten tons of messages from, kids, young adults, even older people, like, hey, man, I love your content. Your content got me through a dark time. That's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's why I do it.
So, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
Well, dog, we can talk for forever, man. This is how we rock. We could crack jokes forever.
Oh,
we could,
boy, let me tell you something.
We could roast each other forever, dog.
Let me tell you something.
It
gets bad. It gets bad.
It gets bad, but we coming up on time. But before we do, can you share with us your social media handles? How can we find you?
All right. So on TikTok, you can find me at Coach Lightwork. On YouTube, Coach Lightwork. Twitch, Kick is Mr. Lightwork 48. Instagram is Coach Lightwork as well. So if you see me out there, you hear my tagline, that's me. Okay, it ain't nobody else.
Yep.
Nobody's doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's me.
You got the duplicators, but that's the originator.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And of course, we're gonna put those links in the description of the video somewhere, so everyone can be on the lookout for you. But man, before we let you go, bro, I got something special for you.
Hey, bro, wait a minute, bro. What'd you get from me, bro? What's that?
Listen, man, you're going to find out. You give me
what's that, bro?
Give me a second.
Let me tell you something. Out. Don't get weird on me, dog. Don't get weird on me, okay? Please don't get weird on me.
Bro, what we have for you is a custom called the Serve challenge coin, all right? That, that was minted, for people like you, because this platform was created for people like you that, live a life of service and put others before themselves. So on the back of it is our motto, our slogan, serving those who serve others. So that's what we really want to do, is do that. And yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you too, man. Appreciate the platform, man. Let me tell my story. You know what I'm saying? It's a hell of a story.
It's all good, man. It's all good, bro.
Right.
Well, shoot, man. Hey, dog. We got much more things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely have to have you come back.
Oh, yeah.
100% in the future, and we got to do some co-hosting together or something like that one day.
Yeah. We can talk about Fight Day.
Bro, we gotta talk about that one time, man.
We gotta talk about that Fight Day.
Yeah. But hey, bro, I appreciate you, man, and I'm proud of you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you, brother.
Until next time.
Oh, yeah. Always.